Aha! Finally. Well, Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Ah, right. Hopefully by now you've all skipped the ads. So apologies for the delay. I hit the go live button at 6 p.m. and YouTube for some reason decided to play silly buggers and sit there with the little spinny white circle going live, going live, going live, and took a couple of refreshes before it actually did it. So hopefully all is working well now, and hopefully some people actually turn up. I see Anthony's here. Hello, my friend. How are you? Hope all is well. But yes. And Jeremy's here, and I won't do the joke again. Hey, hey. It's the monkeys. People say we monkey around. Sorry, old joke. There we go. Video good, audio good. So I'll put enough Vaseline over the lens to cover this then. Good. And Scotty Too Hotty's here as well. Hello, Scott. Just get comfy. As you may notice, I'm wearing a little more attire than usual. Yeah, we got kind of winter storm going on here, so sort of up to 100-mile-an-hour winds, sleet, snow, ice. Winter time in the UK. And namesake John Oliver, hello sir, how the devil are you? Hope all is going well with your guppy emporium, or as I call it, a live food emporium. Yeah, that's an in-joke if people don't know. Yes, I solved my guppy problem with a biter. Yeah, he soon cleared them out. And then everything else that was edible, including full-grown swordtails, large bamboo shrimp, vampire shrimp, clown loach. Yeah, if it fit in his gob, he ate it. And he had a blooming big gob. And today, sponsored by McDonald's. Yeah, no. It's the boy who works for McDonald's. He is now a team manager, crew manager, whatever it is. And they get given things, and he doesn't like proper monsters, so I got it. So, what has been going on this week? I can't remember where we were at last week and what I've done this week. Eek. Short-term memory loss. Don't do drugs, kids. Right. So we start over here. We've had a move around. So the 150 bristlenoses that were in that tank are now in the one down there. Well, the 150 were they? Yeah, the 150 were in there. Yes, slight name change, Stevie P. How the devil art thou? Yeah, so we got 150 bristly noses in the bottom. We got 70 in that one. Well, 70 in that one. Whatever's left of the spawn in that one, so 70 to 80. We have also split the mollets, baby white mollies out. So there's half and half. Same with that one, has got half the mollies that were in that one. That one is still all snailies. That one is completely empty. I got a bit of a shock when I was completely emptying it. It's not had a filter in it. Hello, Steph. You Zach friend, you. Yeah, bit of a shock. It's not had a heater on it. It's not had a filter on it for at least 2 months. And I decided time to clear it out because I'm going to need space for more bristle noses. Yes, more bristlenoses. And when I was clearing that out, clearing all the sand out, because that's what the shell dwellers were in. Yeah, there was still a shell dweller in there. I say there's been no heat, no filter, and no food on that tank for 2 months. And there was a shell dweller swimming around in there. Admittedly, it was a baby, which is why I missed it first time when I cleared it out and hadn't seen it since. But yes. So apparently shell dwellers can survive in 17-degree water. Yeah, because that's how cold it gets in here without heaters on. So that's what's happened there. Other tanks wise, need to buy some more sand. Lazy, eBay, Amazon. You just have to wait, sit in your armchair or you lay on your sofa and wait for it to turn up at the door. The super reds the super red bristlenose fry are doing really well. There's definitely some long fins amongst them as well, which I'm pleased with. This bunch of now 2-week-old bristlenose fry are doing rather well, which is good, because in this cave behind me, which you can't quite see, is a spotty bristlenose. And Mrs. Bertie Bristlenose decided to spawn 19 days after her last spawn, which has kind of gone, what the hell am I going to do now? Yeah, 72 is about 22, yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah, so we're at about 17 degrees. Oh yeah, it was 17 degrees C in that tank. So quite how that little Shelly survived, I have no idea, but it's now in with the rest of its brothers and sisters and uncles and aunts and God knows what else in the Shelly tank, doing quite well. Stretching out, going, oh, warmth, food, water movement, shells. Yeah, these are similis, not multis, but same bloody fish. When it comes to looking after them, they're the same. So 19 days and Spotty's back on eggs again. Bless him. Which is why I'm glad I had a clear out in there. So I've now got 3 batches of bristlenoses that are going to need to go into 2 tanks. That could be a problem. And I could put them in with the snails, but there is only a small sponge filter on there, and I don't want to be putting 150 bristlenoses in with God knows how many hundreds of snails on a small sponge filter. And I've run out of sockets to stick another power filter in. I might be able to wangle another 1, so we might see how we go. And I'm running extension cords off of extension cords with multi-way adapters plugged into the extension cords. So, yeah, getting a bit close to the limit on the 13 amp plug. So yeah, that's all going well. No other births that I'm aware of, no deaths that I'm aware of. I think that pretty much covers it fishy wise for me. Did go out today, visit a couple of LFSs and pet shops, pet stores. Evening, Steve. Just because I needed some wood basically for these tanks. Get some Tony sticks as well, treats for the bunny. Not my bunny, Nadine's bunny. And see if there was anything else that kind of piqued my interest, but there wasn't. The only thing that kind of did was a Limnophilia sessiflora plant, but it was about that big. And I'm like, no, because the tanks I want to put it in, that one, and the new tank, Both contain fish that will quite happily eat limnophilia if it's small. So yeah, I didn't particularly fancy buying it and growing it out for months or weeks and then putting it in. Mr. Daniel keeping fish, sir. Another Zach friend. Good evening, sir. How the devil art thou? I see you enjoyed my descriptions of goldfish. I tell it how I see it. You got your wiggle butts. You got your brains on the outside. You got your ones with the eyes that need popping. And you got your Shoryuken, which I had to do, really. So yeah, that is the smallest section of the pet shop. Part 4 of that particular store tour. Part 5 will be the pond fish. Still haven't decided whether I'm going to do the furries and the featheries, because it's bloody loud in there. When you got parrots, budgies, lovebirds, hornbills. I also got quail, all finches, cockatoos, cockatiels. Yeah, it's pretty deafening in there. There's the foot shirt man, Chris. And if I sit like this, it looks like I've got poop on my head. Someone shat on my head. Hello, Michelle. How are you? And Frankie B, how are you? Long time no see, sir. And Greg 3G, how are you? And just in case there's any model people here who get a bit kerfuddled, with the name change, Fish and Phantoms, we're not talking about the F4 Phantom. We're not talking about the dull grey aeroplane from the 1960s. We're talking about the ooh kind of Phantoms. Yeah. Well, I've had worse on my head, Chris. I mean, let's be honest. You see my hair? Some days it wakes up and I wake up and it looks like that, just not smiling. Heck, this morning I woke up and thought I was something out of a 1980s glam band. Somehow it all gone up one way. Looked like something out of a flock of seagulls. Why is it when I bring my hands up there it goes bright? When I bring my hands down here it goes dark again? Pass. Yes, I'm all right, Michelle. Yeah, good as usual. Weird, mildly perverse. Yeah, just me, really. So yeah, what else has been going on? Yeah, we've got Storm Arwen going on at the moment, so which is why I'm actually wearing more clothing than normal. Ricky B, Animals and Movies. Oh, Mary's sending me pictures. I know what that'll be of. That'll be something small, cute, and furry. Tony the Rabbit. Ricky's listening and lurking while he does some housework. Ooh. Now you need something to make the housework vaguely doable. I hate doing that. Ugh. And once you're doing it, it's okay. It's the actual getting the will together to actually do the cleaning and tidying. Oh, come on, Dan. I had to. Us men of a certain age grew up with that noise. That in the sight of Chun-Li's thighs. keep quiet. I'm trying to persuade Mary to be in more videos. Don't let her know though. Okay, it's our secret. Oh, there she is, the lovely little Patty. How the devil are you? Is he moving, packing, recording, fish? Oh, yeah, you have my sympathies, Frankie. I mean, the models are easy to sort out. You just stick them in a bin. Well, you do if you're me anyway. I wouldn't bother trying to move models. But yeah, moving fish and tanks. Shallow aquatics. Near enough. Yeah, I mean, it's not really been, what you'd call snow here. It's just been kind of bit white, a bit wet, bit cold, bit blowy. Oh, God, there's a Mickey. Evening, Mickey. How the devil are you? Good to see you. Middle of the flex destruction. So it's the only way you're going to catch all the shrimp out of there. Anyway, because if you're going to rescape it, you're going to be pulling all the plants out anyway. So you may as well save yourself the hassle and pull all the plants out, let it all settle back down, and then catch your shrimp. And don't forget the rear compartments, because I can guarantee you will have shrimp in all 3 of the rear compartments. Ask me how I know this. I know this because this was originally a shrimp tank. Then it became a cichlid tank for keyhole cichlid, butterfly cichlids, bristlenose, and Danios. Then a few months later, I thought I'd got all of the shrimp out. 4 or 5 months later, I thought, what's that red thing in that plant? Turned out there were about 70 or 80 cherry shrimp in there. And the shrimp colony in there was doing better than the shrimp colony in my shrimp tank. I don't know. Apparently they survived cichlids and danios better than they survived planaria. We got the planaria sorted, and now that shrimp tank's going nuts. And very green again, which is always a good sign. If you can see through the glass of a shrimp tank, you're not feeding it enough. That's what I say. Now, you say you caught them all, Mickey. I can guarantee you at some point in the next few months, you'll be looking in that tank and going, there's a bloody shrimp in there. I get them turning up in tanks I've never had shrimp in. There are shrimp in my new tank. There's nothing in there that's ever been in a shrimp tank. My 9-gallon flex, which I put 6 black neos in, is now home to a thriving colony of red and red-blue rillies. Huh? There's more red shrimp in my black shrimp colony than there is red shrimp in my red shrimp colony. I don't know. It just kind of tends to be what happens around here. Stuff of it just materializes in tanks. Just ask about cribensis, crying out loud. You empty the tub out 3 times, and there are more cribs in there. Crib free now. Oh, apart from the subocellatus, but they're not breeding, so that's okay. Yeah, so with the latest spawns, we're now up to 700 bristlenoses. Anyone know of a way to get them to grow real fast? Because I could really use a way of getting them to grow a lot faster. Because otherwise I'm going to be ending up having to put in another rack of bristlenose tanks. And then I'm going to be over 1,000 bristlenoses. And then I'm going to be swearing. Pardon me. And setting up an actual distribution network, pretty much, I think, if I get into 4 figures. Here is shrimp, there is shrimp, there is shrimp. Old John Sharpe had a tanky, I. And in that tank there were shrimp and bristlenoses. Am I familiar with Andy Woods? The name rings a bell. But the thing to remember, well, I say the thing to remember, yeah, is my memory is bad, especially with names. Yes, I do sell the bristlenoses, Mickey. I am the supplier for at least one. I mean, I am on the books as bristlenose supplier, one of my LFSs. So yeah. If I didn't sell them, I'd have bloody thousands of them by now. He has a fish shed in the UK. Yeah, so I know the name. Some making bad memories. Evening, Bob. Yes, I know. I mean, I'm not sure whether it's an age thing, a drugs thing, a drink thing, way too many blows to the head thing. I mean, you know, when you can self-diagnose concussions and how bad a concussion it is, you go to the doctor and you go, I've got this. And he goes, okay. Something. Yeah, exactly. I can remember some things. Boom, perfect. People, things like people's names or what I had for tea yesterday. I don't know. There are times I sat there when I was working in the warehouse, and you got loads coming in and going out, and you're signing for pallets and all this stuff. You're signing loads of paperwork, and I'd forget what my name was halfway through. You just literally written your name and signed it 10 or 12 times, and then you get to the next one, you just complete blank. And then the lorry driver has to tell you what your name is. That's not good. That's one of the good things of working retail in a shop or a store. You have a name badge. So if you do forget, you can just look down and read your own name badge. I know that's kind of concerning, but hey. So there are things I can remember, the pure crystal clarity that happened decades ago. Stuff that happened 6 months ago, I haven't got a bloody clue. And the 90s, well, we just gloss over that entire decade pretty much. It's just a blur with the occasional kind of fuzzy memory. I've got to say, Mr. Kayla, sir, you look very dashing in that picture you put on Facebook the other day. Your new profile picture. Very dashing and masculine. Dare I say it, sexy. One day I'll look that good. Never. I'm just going to look more and more like a sack of spuds as the weeks go by, or years. At some point, I'll just look like Jabba the Hutt with bristle noses sticking out of various orifice and creases. And the shrimp crawling out of my nostril. But yes. So yeah, that's pretty much what has occurred this week. Water changes, clean outs, damn bristle noses spawning. Oh, the other one is little mini Molly, little boy. Yes, he's been chasing around all three of the girlies, swimming alongside them and swiveling his gonopodium around at them. It's quite impressive. I mean, I never actually watched live bearers using their gonopodiums. But the fact they can like steer it left and right at 90 degrees, I was quite impressed. You're showing off for them now, aren't you? They could probably eat you, but old church directory photo from 10 years. Wow. Looking very dashing in it, Bob, I must say. In your shirt and tie with your hair slicked, well, not necessarily slicked back, but with your hair back, your shirt and tie, and looking all very good. Sup, Bonoxky? How you diddling? I actually got it right today. I didn't do a degenerate and mispronounced discus. He gets the C and the S the wrong way around. So yes. Yeah, you're full wafting duties, are you, boy? Bertie, bless her, she is looking rather empty right now, which is not a surprise, really. And she's laid like 300 eggs in the last 3 weeks. Now there's the mum, the albino or the sunshine. There's the dad's butt sticking out the cave. And there's Molly's and some albino Corys. And Bert. And Ernie. More albino Corys. Black neons. Zoomy Danios. And dwarf neon rainbow. And the clowny loaches are hiding, as usual. I know exactly where they are. Clown loaches are hiding up behind the filter. Excuse me. I'll try not to cough directly into the camera, Sharpe. It might be a bit of a better thing. And don't drop the camera on the floor either. Can't afford a new one at the moment. Yes. What else is occurring? You all decided you want to be in that exact same shell? Is that what's going on there? Yeah? There's like 5 shellies all trying to get in the same shell. Oh, pardon me. So what else has been going on? Oh, yes, so I've decided the next video I'm going to film, the Evening Plastic Monkey. The next video I'm going to film might not be the next one I put up. Will be a canister video. A, how I clean a canister. And B, how I set one up. Which might upset a few people. Specifically those that sell expensive biomedia. I'm going to podium this female and that female. Yeah, it is a bit of a weird name. I mean, I'm not that kind of creative with names. I would have probably called it a fincock. That's basically what it is. It's a modified fin that they use as a manhood. Hey? You and a Akari are not meant to eat the hair algae. Why do I get the fish to eat the things they're not meant to eat? You know, we've got bristlenose that eats blackbeard algae. We had the bicher that like to eat algae wafers and a better. I don't know. At least you can't say my fish are fussy. Another good selling point for them. They'll eat bloody anything, especially the bristlenoses. Yeah. And yes, definitely still looking for an algae wafer sponsor. If anyone knows of an algae wafer company that's looking for a face online, yeah, don't tell them. Yeah. Because gold start getting expensive. Got a rainbow ceiling that is blackbeard. Yeah, exactly. That's my stock answer. What can I get to get rid of blackbeard algae? Well, I've got a bristlenose that eats it. Although I have got rid of it all now, so poor Bertie, she's going a bit hungry lately. Mollies, it's probably best you don't sort of like try and pick on the Akaras. You're going to lose that fight badly. I mean, I know the Akaras are happy, friendly, docile fish, but it's a molly. It's a mouthful. I'm surprised they haven't eaten any of the cories. To be fair, I don't think either of them have ever eaten a single live fish. Very strange creatures. The adult mollies will eat the baby mollies. I'm pretty damn sure that the Akaras don't. So yeah, where are we? Do little da. In search of a male rainbow cichlid, you're dying for impatient females. Dan. Yeah. Jeremy's ramshorns murder blackbeard algae. Yeah, I've got a few ramshorns, so if it becomes a problem, I'll just set some of those guys on it. They're all pink and blue-green. Let's have a look at some baby mollies as well while we're at it. Molly. Get the camera straight. And bristly noses and mollies. Bristly noses and mollies. Mollies. And in that dark hole at the bottom, 150 bristle noses. I've not spoken to Ocean Nutrition, Steph. I've not seen Ocean Nutrition for sale in the UK, so that might be an issue. If not, I'll just keep buying the 1 kilo or 2.2 pound bags off of Amazon. I think it's is it heron? Herons, something like that. It's pretty good food and it's dirt cheap. When you get a kilo of algae wafers for about £13, or you can buy like 150 gram pack for £7 or £8. Yeah, it's just no. No, I'm not buying them from the shop in a small pouch. I want sackfuls of them. So the amount I go through is just unreal at the moment. They're technically a sailfin lyatail platinum, but white mollies. That's what they sell as in the UK. We tend to do things a bit different with our live bearers. A guppy is a guppy. whatever colour or variant or whatever posh name it gets given in the States, over here it's a guppy. They cost $2.95. Same with pretty much any of the standard live bearers. £3 or £4 at most, and it'll be a black molly, a Dalmatian molly, a white molly, a red molly. Different fin type, meh. It's just the way of it. Which is why breeding things like live bearers is generally not a good idea in the UK. But hey, sometimes it's nice to just have baby fish swimming around. Guppy. Guppy equals live food, Mickey. Or bite your bites is the other name for them, because they are tender and delicious. And they disappear in one mouthful. Yeah, we don't tend to mess about when it comes to posh names for things. I mean, a lot of times if you go into a pet shop or pet store and you look at the betters, it will be male better this much. Normally around $12.95. And it doesn't matter what fin type, what colour, Dumbo weird, not Dumbo weird. They're all the same. Females are normally $3.95, $4.95. Yeah, that's how they are. I mean, yeah, there are more specialist kind of stores that will sell the poshly named things. But they're exactly the same thing as you'd get out at the pet store for a tenth of the price. So, yeah. Mollies don't fare well in freshwater tanks. Platinum salvins in salt water. Great algal control. Yeah, I mean, so my LFS have got mollies in some of their salt or marine tanks. I'm guessing purely for that, or to show that you can stock a marine tank cheaply. I think at one point I had one which was all different kinds of mollies, and I'm going to get the name wrong. The green spotted puffer, the one that goes from fresh to brackish salt, and they had all of them in the same tank, and it was a salt tank, and everyone was happy. And it was a very pretty tank, and it's probably the cheapest saltwater tank setup you'd ever see. Yeah, I'd say Molly's munch algae like it's going out of fashion. Mine are well fed, but they keep it mostly under control. There is, but I don't mind a bit of green hair algae, and any green spot algae or whatever on the glass. The bristlenoses tend to go after, or the nerites, or what's left of the Malaysian trumpet snails. Well, Happy Loach has found something. You might have just heard him in the background clicking away. Actually got clicked at the other day in anger. I was late feeding them breakfast. I was sat in the armchair and I could hear this click, 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 click. I turn around, look, there's these two clown loaches just staring through the glass at me like, "Oi, hungry, dinner, feed me." Human, you are slacking in your duties. To be fair, it was the first probably cold day, and I still haven't got any heating on, so I was rather snug in my blanket at the time. Oh, you doing some flashing? You got an itch, have you? Have you got an itch, or are you digging? Hey, it's one or the other. You're not been happy since I put rocks where your nest used to be, are you? You keep trying to dig new nests. Well, these are homegrown feeders. I say if you're going to feed live food or live fish, then that's the best way to do is to breed them yourself. I'm not saying I agree or disagree with it. It's not something that is generally done over here. But yeah, the ones that I've seen sold as feeder fish all look very sickly and very ill and like they're on the verge of death. So yeah, breeding your own fish and live bearers has got to be the best way to go. There's a few months and they're big enough to be food from even the biggest kind of fish. And if you just keep the best looking ones, then you end up with a very pretty show tank as well. I think there's a bit of twig in the end of this cigarette. Jeez. I think I need someone who can suck a golf ball through a hose pipe. There's a lot of effort for not a lot of reward, that one. What we got? Yeah. There's a bit of twig in the end of it. Yeah, so at the moment, I'm not looking for anything new to breed. And I am kind of glad. I was breeding donut. If I find a donut breeder, Dan, I'll let you know. I mean, you'll have to have what I don't eat, but yeah, good question, Jeremy. How many parasites introduce native water with bait fish? I mean, if you're using marine fish, things like sprats or whatever the US equivalent is, small silverfish from the sea, it won't be a problem because the parasites won't survive in fresh water. But if you're using a brackish fish or a freshwater fish, especially something tropical or non-native, yeah, could be introducing all sorts of nasties into the water system. But again, fishing with live bait is kind of a no-no in the UK now. Worms and maggots that you dig up from your garden, or worms and maggots you buy in the shop. I'll say normally for the predatory species, I mean, the only species that we would really use, even historically, live fish for would have been pike. Perhaps pike, zander, and there is minnows perhaps for perch. But as perch will quite happily eat a worm or a night crawler or maggots or even bloody sweet corn, it's not really a problem. There's no need to use live fish. Just set your little float rig up with your 3 or 4 pound line, your size 16 hook, flick a couple of handfuls or pinches of maggots in around the edge of the lily pads or overhanging trees, flick your baited rig so you're fishing maggots on the bottom, and just wait. It won't take long. Perch will soon grab it. And half the problem with perch is trying not to catch them. And when you do, trying to get the bloody hook out because they'll guts it. And that's one reason why barbed hooks are illegal in the UK as well. Because they cause too much damage trying to get the bloody things out. Amber, lovely Amber, how the devil are you, my dear, my sweet, my love? Mwah. And yeah. Oh, thank you, Bob. Yes, Mary's fine. I say she's fine. She had a job interview Friday that didn't go very well. Kind of made to feel that about a quarter of the way into the interview, it's like, nah, nope, not happening. So that was a bummer because she would have liked that job, but onwards and upwards, and something better will be around the corner. So, and I hope you're still on the mend, Amber, and getting there. Empty. Yeah, I've caught perch on it. I think perch are related to bluegill. They're the same kind of sort of fish. Yeah, I've had them on bear hooks. I've caught carp on a bear hook as well before. And I mean bear hook in the mouth, not foul hooked. So, we've all done that one, reeling in, and accidentally the hook's got caught in a fish's tail or something on the way in, and you get the shock of your life. The one I felt sorriest for was I'd got the swim set, everything's feeding crazy, bubbles coming up all over the place, and accidentally, completely unintentionally, a carp managed to hook itself through the ring piece. That wasn't much of a fight to bring that one in. Oh, thank you very much, Bob, for the $4.99 super sticker. Yeah. Always welcome. Marit is on the mend, Steph. She ventured out for a bit of a walk the other day. Bit of fresh air and just going stir crazy because she hadn't left her bedroom for about a week, other than to go to the toilet. But yeah, last I heard, Marit is on the mend. The fevers have all gone. The headaches have all gone. She's got the coffee bit now. Phone's beeping away at me again. So as I say, the next part of my store of Swallow Aquatics will be of the outdoor pond fish, some of which I don't really agree with, but there we go. One species in particular, because they're a fast-flowing river fish that grow rather large and like lots of space. But hey, we'll get to that in the video. Vermont landlord has decided to sue for damages done to the house. There's 12 doors and many holes in the walls. And since you didn't cook, I'm guessing it was someone else putting their hands and feet through doors and walls. Yeah, I'd be selling all his stuff off, definitely, Amber. Either that or passing him on the bill. But I got a funny feeling he's probably not left a forwarding address. Sup, J Rock? Yeah, I'm doing all right. Yes. That is the thing. If it was in your name, Amber, that's the problem. If it was in both names, then yeah. But I wouldn't hold up much hope for him manning up and doing what he should do. Yeah, exactly. He's never going to man up. He's just done a runner and hid. Coward. been a little boy and run and hid back on his island again. Anyway, extra big hugs. Oh, you can get your videos out and get your monetization, and people will start sending you super chats and things, and hopefully that can help you pay for some of the problems that you've been left with. But yeah, sell all the stuff he's blooming left you. I say, if he's blocked you, he ain't coming back. He ain't going to be asking for anything, because he doesn't know your current address. Yeah. You have every right to be angry. You've been dropped in the poop from a super high level by someone who's basically just shown themselves up to be what they actually are. And yeah, not something I would do, but yeah. Yes, you do have my sympathies, Amber. You sure know how to pick them, don't you? Hey? Reminds me of my ex. Not you, I mean him. I had to threaten to get a restraining order, and I'm a foot taller than she was. That was mainly to protect myself. There's only so long I can keep my stuff together for, or I'm going to rage. Well, yeah, you were just doing what anyone would do, Amber. He's been a snotty little child about it and acted as such. I know there's not that many of us here, but everyone in the fish fam knows that you're not the problem, Amber. We all love you. Anyone in the fish fam be more than happy to give you a massive hug, male or female. And copy and paste this. Oh, jeez. Yeah, he is. Yeah. Yes, child. And on behalf of my gender, sorry, we're not all like that. Only you'll have to trust me on that we're not all like that. But yeah, kid across the street over to OD.acid. Cops and ambulance. Oh dear. Yeah, that's not a good one. I don't think I ever overdosed on it. I took. Anthony made it back. Yes, apologies, Anthony. It was YouTube playing silly buggers. It wouldn't actually go live when I wanted it to. Oh, pardon me. But yeah, I thought I've surfed the edge of the galaxy more than once, but I don't think I've ever actually OD'd on acid. But then again, it's one of those things you build up, like any kind of drug or even something as simple as caffeine. Oh, yeah. Yes. If he can't keep it in his pants, then yeah. I mean, I won't say I'm not one to talk because I do keep it in my pants. I will flirt with anyone. And Mary knows that I'll flirt like crazy. And I'll give anyone a hug, perhaps even a kiss on the cheek. But that's as far as it goes. Maybe a swipe on the butt, backhand. But that's it. You know, there's knowing the limit. Walk from the airport to a good viewing spot, watching planes take off and land. That sounds cool. You know, as long as they're not going directly overhead, because you never know what's going to fall off the bottom of one of them things. 3 kids in my home. I know even if they're having a bad day. Exactly. Some parents just don't pay enough attention. Some pay too much attention. It's you got. I say this not as a parent, but you got to let them explore and find themselves and their place in the world. But you got to hold them back just that bit so they don't go too far. The older they get, the more line you let out, as it were, off the reel. No, you got to get it off your chest, Amber. I mean, it's a very nice chest, I've got to say, but you got to get it off your chest. Otherwise, you'll just sit there and stew, and then you'll make yourself even worse. Trust me, I know. Right? I think we all here know I have some issues up there, which lead to scars elsewhere, and that is from bottling it all up. Let it out, or you don't want to end up like me. Nothing to apologise for at all, and you're not spamming, Amber. International planes are massive compared to domestics or Korean air jet. Ooh, that'd be South Korea. If it was North Korea, it'd probably have propellers. During lockdown, kid was the only student in class to do all the work and come home. Yeah, exactly. As I say, there's caring. Oh, this is giving me a headache. Ooh. You can see where the old things have been digging in. I did put it around that way so you could actually see my face. Yeah, wait till you see some of the military transport planes. So we get them fly directly over Heath here to Lakenheath, RAF Lakenheath, and Mildenhall, which is USAAF, I think. But yeah, we get the C-130s and all that, and the Hercules and the Galaxies come overhead, and they dwarf 747s. I did see an Antonov once. That thing, God. When they start talking about how many basketball courts they can fit inside the plane, yeah, so this is it. It's caring and doing the right things, Jay, but then also letting them have the freedom to find who they are. And again, I'm not a parent, so I really can't offer parental advice on anything. Just go by what I see in life and what I think and what goes through my head and what my brain works kind of like a computer. It comes up with theories and hypotheses about various things, and then it sees a similar situation, applies that hypothesis or theory, and it goes, "Oh yeah, that's right." Later, Ricky. Yeah, it's holding up the apron strings too tight means at some point it's gonna go boom, and you'll end up with. I'm not saying you will. I'm saying you, as in a general. You'll end up with someone like me who then goes out and takes all the drugs and all the drinks and goes for about 10 years. Yeah, well, I say, yeah, figure it out that way. long as all the schoolwork's done and they're getting good grades, they can play on their computers, they can see their friends, they can go out, they can do all this stuff. As soon as their grades start to slip, the freedoms start taken away. Yeah, it works. It's pretty simple, really. Well, I mean, she's going to be better looking than her dad, Anthony, anyway. You know that one for a start. Yeah, so this is it with me. I did college, 16 to 18, studying electronics and, well, studying electronics. Actually, I studied alcohol and drugs. Just happened to pass a bunch of exams in electronics and maths. But ever since then, university of life, I take lots in and learn lots without even realizing it most of the time. So, yeah, there's a surprising amount going on in there. It might not look it from the outside. Now, it might look like the lights are on and nobody's home, but that poor little gerbil in there is going 10 to the dozen most of the time. It's why sometimes I can't sleep, because I can't turn the gerbil off. It just keeps going and going and going and going. Yeah, that is exactly. You can set the good example, Jay, of, right, I messed around. I didn't get good grades. And it took me until now to get where I am. If you get good grades and knuckle down with your work, you could be here when you leave college. I mean, hell, I would say without it does the light, it keeps going, Patty. It's because hand rolled, they keep going out. As soon as I keep talking, they go out. And cheap lighters, they're $5 for $1. Actually, these were $6 for $1. Yeah, I mean, I didn't exactly try hard in school. I kind of average grades and exams and what have you. I've only got about 9 GCSEs and one H. Well, is it an HND? Kind of that thing. So that's the thing, Jay. Hand rolled. Haven't got any of that stuff in there. This is literally tobacco and paper, and then cotton, which is what the filter's made out of. And I doubt they actually use gelatin glue anymore, which was made from boiled cow bones. Remember the brown tape that you got that you used to have to wet the back with a paintbrush and then it stuck like God knows? Yeah, that was boiled cow juice. Yeah, so I messed about in school. Well, I say messed about. I had issues growing up, and yeah, I've had crappy jobs all my life. And thankfully, I've got used to it and I live according to what I bring in. Not had any kids, not had a car, don't go on holidays or vacations. Late in college and nursing, had to settle down and apply myself. Rude awakening. It was. It was a very rude awakening. When after my 18th birthday, it was, well, 18th birthday, it was about a month later when I left college. And then it was like, right, here you are. You're now no longer in foster care. Here's the world. Enjoy. Bye. Huh? Yeah, it was a bit of a culture shock. Oh, yeah, in the ready-mades, yeah. When you buy a pack of 20 of, they've had that stuff in for decades to keep them burning because they make more money. Because if you light a cigarette, if you say you smoke Marlboro, which I used to smoke, not an advert for certain tobacco brands, um, you light it up, you have a couple of puffs, you stick it in the ashtray, you forget about it for a couple of minutes, you come back to have another puff, and it's gone. The whole thing's burnt, so you light another cigarette. So you buy more cigarettes, basically, is why they do that. With these going out, if I stick this in the ashtray, 30 seconds later it'll be out and it won't have burnt hardly at all. Because the other thing with rolling tobacco is it's damp, whereas the tobacco they use in ready-mades is dry as a bone. So it burns a lot faster and hotter as well. Yeah, it's something I probably should stop smoking, but man, yeah, I gave up drink and I gave up drugs, so smoking and caffeine are my two things now. That and naps. I'm addicted. I'm also addicted to naps. Naps are awesome. I think I should have been born a cat. Or a rabbit. Big difference in that. Yeah, I noticed it when I did quit for a while that my breathing was better, but uh, it's, yeah, I'm getting clicked at again. What are you up to, Loachy? Have you found a snail? I mean, vaping contains less carcinogens. That's a given. I mean, oxygen technically is a carcinogen. Um, oh, and he's getting a kitty. Oh, need to see. We're going to need to see pictures of Kitty, pictures and videos. The kitties are awesome. Oh, it won't be ever be another kitty as good as the floof monster, um, who doesn't just haunt me. He haunts next door as well, which is quite amusing because they get scared. And he also visits Mary as well. She took something out of her. It was a black T-shirt she took out, a black top, and there was suspiciously fine white fur on it. Not being burnt, so there's none unless you cake the coil, then you have formaldehyde. Yeah, well, a bit of formaldehyde never did you any harm. Too much formaldehyde, yeah, that's kind of dangerous, but you know. My view is I'm going to die of something. It might as well be something I enjoy. And who wants to live forever? I mean, at the risk of bringing things down, I'm not scared of dying. It's going to happen. It's like taxes. You can't avoid it. You can just put it off for a bit longer. Oh, pardon me. Oh, there we go. You right there, fat loach? That's glass, mate. There's nothing edible there. No matter how hard you look. Or are you trying to get to the bristlenoses? Is that it? Yeah. Death is just peace and quiet. It could be. I thoroughly intend to. I thoroughly intend to raise hell once I'm gone. I'm going to haunt something or someone for sure. Whether that's Mary in a nice and gentle kind of way, whether it's haunt this house and whoever happens to move in here and freak them out, or whether it's Aquafunk. Yeah, that's definitely the one you want to do, Anthony. Is you want to outlive. You don't want to outlive your kids because that's gonna suck. Word on the street is Sharpe smells kind of funny. Well, that's kind of a known fact, Funk. Well, at least I don't smell funky. How you doing, Funk? Anyway, good to see you as always. Oh dear, we do rack on each other quite badly, but it's all in good heart. Get sick less vaping over cigs. I've never had an issue, really. I mean, if I'm going to get a cold, I'm going to get a cold, whether I was smoking or not smoking. So, you know, perhaps the immune system might be stronger, but then, why I see it, kill them with smoke inhalation. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it, Jeremy? If we all wear masks, we get sick less. Weird, isn't it? I've been wearing a mask every time I've gone out in public for the past year and 4 or 5 months. I've not had a single cold or flu or anything, despite the fact that for a year of that I was working in a shop seeing people all day, every day. Your immune system's a bit like that, is it, Anthony? Um, yeah, funny. And the mask stuff is coming back in the UK on Tuesday. Apparently, Tuesday this week we're going back to masking up because the numbers are getting bad and there's a new strain and God knows what. Yeah, all I've got to do is, you see, that's how easy it is. Yeah, and I'm masked up, and it's a cool mask as well because it's covered in shrimpies. Oh, that's gonna hurt in the morning. Cover your ears if you're on headphones. Thank you very much, Chris, for the fertilizer super sticker. Someone crapped on my head. Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Funk. Jeremy, I get pneumonia, flu, colds every damn year, not since COVID. It's funny that, isn't it? It's like if you look at Japan, right, because they wear masks just because, right? Because they don't want to catch colds and they don't want to pass them on to everyone else because, respect. Japanese people tend to have colds and flus a lot less often than more Western cultures do that don't wear masks, don't take precautions when they're sick. Yazzie said, oh, bless. Sorry, Yazzie. sending belly rubs, fusses, and head scratches. Sorry, yes, I tried to squeeze it as gently as possible. At least it wasn't me making that noise. And yet, foot shirt. Who in the unholy heck forgot to slap the like button? Ah, some people did. Did you remember, Funk? You'd be amazed the amount of times you see it in streams where someone goes, make sure you hit the like button, and they forgot themselves. It's kind of funny and ironic. Yes. Anyway, as always, appreciated. And Chris, thank you very much. Will. The cat was like, yo. See, Chris, that's what you got to do in future. You got to squeeze the poop as well. Oh, that sounded bad. Had to rewind you and play back at the speed double. Daughter and a fella popped in. Had to mute in case I said something too perverse or weird, Michelle. Oh, Steph's going to get 33 long. 3 times that by 4 is 120, 132 litre. So a mega flex, basically. Tempted to walk to an LFS, so I shouldn't spend on coral right now. Nah, because see, the problem with coral is it likes those lights that give you headaches and migraines, and it's just all weird, glowing, live rock, really. I'm not a fan of coral. It really doesn't do anything for me, other than give me a migraine. And Funk's going around licking doorknobs. I'm not gonna. Yeah, there's another kind. Yeah, I'm not gonna go with that one. That will get me demonetized. Another kind of knob that Funk likes to lick. Sorry, Funk, you walked right into that one. Bless. You see, now Funk can wear a baseball cap and make it look cool. I wear one, it's like Sharpe's got a cap on. He's 2 reasons. He's either got a cold head or he's having a bad hair day. Yeah, a bit of both. Problem is, if you're having a bad hair day and you put a cap on to cover the bad hair day, it makes the bad hair day worse. It just crushes it all completely flat to your skull. Really, so he thought I'd like coral, an alien creature. Yeah, so I don't have a problem with it, as such as seeing it in the sea or whatever. I think the main issue I have with it is those lemon lights. Yeah, they give me migraines real fast. And I don't suffer from migraines. I get headaches like everyone else does. Yeah, I know I need a buzz cut. There's just no point right now. You know, when I get a job interview, then I'll get a haircut. There's no point cutting my hair if I haven't. Yeah, the actinic blue ant, it gives me massive migraines, which is why you'll notice none of my tanks have blue lights on them. Get mine out the gutter. Funk, you know me, my mind looks up at the gutter. It looks up at the gutter in the distance and goes, oh, wow, how wonderful and clean it is up there. My mind's in the bottom of the sewer. Oh, dear, Bob. Oh, dear. Oh, dangerous. You shouldn't be saying that. You know that. I'm going to touch wood. I would have touched one of the stands, but I'm really not sure any of them are actually made out of wood. I think they're pretty much all sawdust and glue. And my mind's not in the gutter. My mind's in the bottom of the sewer. So, you know that line that some people won't cross? It's over there somewhere in the distance, and everyone else is the other side of it. Anthony knocked on a tree for Bob. He got a self-moderate, so everyone lets you in the channel. Exactly. Funk's getting a perm. You got to have hair first to get a perm, Funk, unless you're going to perm something else. In which case, be careful, because that stuff's going to sting bad. I mean, here we go. Look at that. It is plastered flat on the head, and showing off just how thin it is as well. Run a hand through it a couple of times. It might bring it to life. Yeah, whatever. You've all seen it now, so I can't hide it up anymore. Well, I've probably got enough to get a perm. I mean, it's not as long as it was, but it's starting to get there. Hey, it's starting to get cold in the UK now, so it keeps my head warmer. I guarantee if I get a haircut, it will snow. Just guarantee. If I get a haircut, the weather will change for the worse. It always does. So right now it's going to be left until I've got a job interview to go to, and then it will get cut the day before. And then if I get the job, it won't get cut for another 6 or 8 months. Or it was like last year, over a year. But yeah, it was April I finally got a hair. Yeah, it was over a year since I had a haircut when I went for my last haircut. So we all remember how long that got, because I had a ponytail again. Michelle Baltic in Belfast. Yes, I can quite imagine. And don't worry, I'm not going to attempt the Belfast accent. I have other friends in Belfast. They would probably kill me if I tried it. Neither am I. Yeah, I'm not going to go with the Spud Muncher joke either, because I like potatoes too much. Oh dear. As you're speaking of starting to look like a hippie, this is short hair for me, Funk. I reckon even after I have a haircut, my hair will be longer than yours. No, I cannot do an Irish. I can't do Irish. I own Belfast, Northern Irish accent. Ye gods, I wouldn't dare, because the troubles are still ongoing. Go on, go on, go on. Oh dear. Dreads, geez, no. Been there, done that. I say dreads, I had the micro braids back in the 90s. Was it 90s, late 90s, early noughties? Might have been early noughties. It was all dyed midnight blue and in the really thin braids. And it was still down to my shoulders. It was just too much hassle. So in the end, I just went along. But yeah, so I was watching, and there's quite a few reaction channels on YouTube where it's an American reacting to English history or English things or British things or things from the UK. Let's go that way so we don't offend anyone. And it was someone, it was a younger person, and they were doing a reaction video to the Troubles in Northern Ireland. And to say they were quite shocked was a bit of an understatement. And as I say, it kind of, Kind of shows why us Brits, yeah, Northern Ireland is Brit, yeah. Even I had to try and remember what part is what. What name 12 likes and Sharpe will grow dreads. Yeah, growing dreads is easy. You just don't wash your hair for a year. Um, and thankfully, there aren't any pictures of me with hair like that. It did look cool though. Where was I going? Yeah, I was like, the whole thing with the trouble was in Northern Ireland. If you're not familiar with it and you're American, look it up, and you will understand why we don't get quite as upset or up in arms over a terrorist attack. I mean, okay, 9/11 or 11/9, technically could correct that one, was bad, but yeah, we're kind of used to that sort of thing happening over here from the 60s, 70s, 80s. And I used to live not far outside of London, and we'd hear about the car bombs, the bomb warnings being called in, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it was. That's why we're not quite so. We're used to it. It's not a new thing for us. Although armed police on the streets did scare quite a few people. Didn't bother me. I was like, well, if you don't want to get shot, don't do anything illegal. It's pretty simple. Um, yes. Anyway, backing out of politics and history, we got half hour to go. Has anyone got any questions they would like to ask? Well, they'd be fish related, haircut related, music related. Whatever. Would funk look good in a dress? I'm sure Lady Funk would get a good laugh out of it. Do I mess with Raspberry Pi boards? I don't. My general messing about with electronics kind of finished in the mid 90s when I left college. And other than that, and my coding experience goes to basic, literally basic, before DOS, early 80s coding. Yeah, well, yeah, as Michelle says, it was normal for us. Unfortunately, but thankfully, it's mostly behind us. There's still the odd thing goes on, but no. So I used to mess with all sorts of weird and wonderful electronics when I was at college and what have you. Some of the things I made, designing my own circuits and you know, voltage multipliers, alarms, fishing bite alarm were made. I even managed to make a welder out of it. 30-volt power supply and a couple of big capacitors. And to prove it worked, I welded someone's steel toe caps to their stool in the classroom. Pardon me, while they were asleep. That was fun when they tried to stand up. And I'd welded their boots to the chair. When I request no MSG at Chinese takeout drive-through, why do they add it anyway? Probably, yeah. I mean, it's probably already in there, and they just put the meal together. Probably pay no attention. Okay, Dan, have a good night, sir. Fist bumps to the fry. Thanks for turning up. Yeah, I've always had this theory of like takeaways or drive-throughs. Drive-throughs aren't really such a thing over here. You kind of have to go park somewhere and go in. But yeah, the food's cooked in big batches, kept warm, or the popular dishes. So yeah, if you request something different, it should take a lot longer for you to get it because if it's supposed to have no MSG in it, they're going to have to cook it from scratch. So I would say it probably still got the MSG in it. There's far worse things that they can put in there, but yeah. The problem always with Chinese food is that you eat it and about an hour later you're starving hungry again. Which is why you go out for the Chinese, you have a sit-down meal in the restaurant with your friends or whatever, and you have a chat, and it's all good and fun. And then you leave, and then as you come home, you stop off at the chip shop on the way home and grab a portion of chips. Because by the time you get home, you're going to be hungry again. And then you can demolish the chips and go to bed. Salt and vinegar. Salt, then vinegar, then salt. Because the vinegar washes the salt down through the chips. Just in the munchies. Oh, God, no, munchie attacks. Jeez, I know all about them. One of the worst ones I had, I got a munchie attack, and literally the only food I had in the house at the time was raw potatoes. Yes, Sharpe ate raw potatoes because that was all he had. Yeah, that wasn't a good day the next day. You see, I like a lot of salt. So I go salt and then the vinegar to wash the first lot of salt through so you got salt on the lower chips and then salt back on the top. And then choice of sauce, whether it be ketchup, mayo, or brown sauce if you're really weird. Um, Although if you're going with gravy, don't bother with the salt and vinegar. Just gravy. Because otherwise you really do overdo the salt. I'm going to go disappear for a moment and go and drain a vein. And I'll come back and answer some more questions. Crunch, crack, creak, bang, ouch. Yeah, well. Heart attack waiting to happen. Nah. Got to have a heart first. Oh, sorry if you heard that burp, but I was upstairs in the bathroom. Yeah, so you've got to have a functioning heart to have a heart attack. And I thought I was once, but it turned out it was just trying to beat. No more random and weird questions? God, yeah. Behave, Limia. Itch. And I swear this chair is going to fall apart one week. As long as I don't end up going through a fish tank, I'll be fine. And it'd be comedy gold in the middle of the stream and the chair collapses. What post-demise plans? None really. It's... technically I am an organ donor, so they can take anything that they think might be useful. But yeah, nothing expensive or posh, or certainly no silly wooden boxes or lead-lined caskets to bury me in. If I'm going to be buried, just a cardboard box will do. If you're going to burn me. Chuck the ashes out with the rest of the rubbish. I wouldn't be too worried if someone just... No, I'm going to be dead. I ain't going to care. I will have no more use for this meat sack. So stick it in the landfill. I don't care. We're talking funeral. I'm guessing Bob is pointing out that perhaps Caitlin Doughty might have put up another video. Or the Ask a Mortician YouTube channel. Hello, lovely Marriott. Hope you're feeling a bit better today. Hope to have ashes dumped in a tree planting and be an evergreen. That'd be cool. Yeah, I'll say it's... once the spark has left the meat sack, this is just fertilizer, basically. It's nothing to get attached to. I mean, song-wise, yeah, there's some songs I'd like played, but you know, oh dear, Marek just woke up. But I mean, that's good though, Marek. At least means you are sleeping now. And Cheryl, hello, my dear. I've missed you. It's nice to have you back. I did actually have a chat with little Lisa because I hadn't seen her for a while. She's been on a bit of a downer, so I gave her a bit of a cheery up. But yeah, she's okay health-wise. I was starting to get a little bit worried. What are you doing, Shellies? Are you picking up bits of lava rock and chucking them over into your next door neighbour's little hole, are you? And then picking them up and throwing them back again. Oh, they're always funny to watch. Yes. I'm sure you have far more interesting things to do on a Sunday evening, Cheryl. COVID's out of your system. You're feeling all better now, are you, Marek? You just got a bit of a cough left over, but all good. That's great to hear. Yay! Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Does that mean you can give Chris a big hug now? Is that the most important thing? Sleep is in a mess in hibernation mode. Yeah, I kind of understand that. I mean, technically, that's probably more accurate for this time of year. You know, historically, we would have slept most of the time in the cold, wintry months. we wouldn't have been getting up at the same time and going to bed at the same time as we did in the summer. Pardon me. Just got coffee and stuffy nose. That sounds like you probably had the blooming cold at the same time, Marriott. You probably got the cold and COVID at the same time. Knowing you, it wouldn't surprise me. So we're going back to being fully masked up again from Tuesday this week. So yay! And yay, I'm not working in the shop, because I can imagine all the arguments that are going to happen when people start wandering into the shop without a mask on, and the person working in the shop has to go, "Where's your mask?" I go, "No, you got to wear a mask." Out. Yeah, tough. Wear a bloody mask next time. But yeah, hibernation does sound quite good to me, Cheryl. Oh, I don't think my body would actually sleep long enough. Oh dear, excuse me. Great advert for Monster. Finishes a can of Monster and starts yawning. So talking about hibernation. Yes. I think what probably wakes me up, but if I get to sleep and then wake up early, is probably because my body's going, I need caffeine. I need more caffeine to be able to sleep. I'm taking me in exhaustion. Yeah, I can quite imagine. Being sick, whatever it is, makes you tired. And something bad like COVID is going to leave you wiped out. Oh dear. Yeah, I know that feeling, Cheryl. Yeah, you have a bad night. And you think, well, if I stay awake all day, I should have a good night tonight. And then you fall asleep on the sofa or something. And 4 or 5 hours later, you wake up and you go, oh, God damn it. One of the ones sometimes I do is I'll stick a really long video on YouTube, like an audio book kind of thing, usually horror. It might be 3, 4, 6 hours long, and I'll fall asleep and I'll be fine. Then the video will end and I'll wake up because it's suddenly gone quiet. I literally wake up just in time to see like the tablet screen dim. Feels like someone hit you with a bus. I can quite imagine. What you need is chocolate, lots of chocolate, and cream cakes, and a burger, and a hot chocolate and a coffee. That's what I say. And plenty of snuggles. That's also they help. Good snuggly snooze. Mum just called in, so I'm gonna have to go. Catch you later, Michelle. Have a good week. I nearly said say hi to your mum from me, but that would just be really weird. Hey, mum, some random YouTube person says hello. That's going to take some explaining. Oh, yeah. Crystal needs her watch hours. She's nearly there, I believe. And she's on after me. I take it she's still going live. Needing watch hours going live is a good way to get some. Yes, so either watch some of Crystal's videos or tune into her live stream after I finish. And we'll have to think of a amusing hashtag. See you later, Michelle. Um, right, so what weird hashtags we a sleep disorder called delayed sleep syndrome, which keeps you awake all night and sleep during the day. Really hard to get on day mode. Yeah, I can imagine. Um, I'm just an insomniac, basically. Uh, and weirdly, sleeping tablets don't really help that much unless you go proper hardcore prescription sleeping tablets, and then you can take them for like 3 days, and then you have to not take them for a couple of days, and then you can take them for you just end up even more all over the place. So it doesn't really end up helping in the end anyway. Um, and weirdly, one of the best things I found historically was weed. Literally, just have a little bit just to take the edge off and start, and then go to bed, and that would help. But then again, like anything, um, like anything, the body gets used to it, and you then need more to have the same effect. Now, can't take us a run over the day after. Yeah, I found that as well. And if I took them for more than 3 days, they would keep me awake rather than send me to sleep. And yeah, as I say, they was just run on too long, as it were. Take melatonin, it's hit and miss. Yeah, so I've just learned to deal with it. Um, it can be a bit of an issue when I'm working. If I'm doing like a full day shift or something, because yeah, that can really take it out of me. But um, I just try and have a nap every day, at least one. Some days I have two naps. Uh, it just depends how I feel. Oh dear. Oh, excuse me. I'm not going to be late to bed tonight, that's for sure. Uh, yeah, I was up fairly early this morning and not really had much of a nap this afternoon. I've been busy and out and about with Mary, so well, we didn't really do much. Bought some modafinil online to help stay awake. Yeah, exactly. You take the thing that keeps you awake during the day so you sleep at night, but then it keeps you too awake and then you can't sleep anyway. Yeah, it's yeah. You just end up on constant drugs if you start trying to do that, and it just doesn't work. So yeah, best way I found is just try and stick to a routine, and if you need a nap during the day, have a nap. Do what your body tells you. That's the main thing. We're all different. All our bodies run differently. There's no, this is normal, this is abnormal. It's just, we're different. Some people are night owls, some people are evening, morning, afternoon. I'm best for, if I wake up, give it an hour, then I'm good for a couple of hours, and then it's just downhill from there on in. Um, it's generally once the caffeine and nicotine levels have come up high enough to keep me awake. But then I say depression as well just makes you really not necessarily drowsy, but struggle to do anything. So yeah, it's you have my sympathies, and if I had some kind of miracle cure, I'd be sitting here all fully awake and yeah, isn't life great and wonderful and awesome? But instead, I'm like, trying to stay awake. It's just the way of the world, the way we are. And hey, if we were all the same, we'd all listen to Boys Life, Boyzone or Westlife, same difference. Watch Disney movies, read Harry Potter, and we lived that perfectly normal life, which I look at and it just seems so boring. Wish you could do your gardening at night. Oh, get a little head torch. I mean, as long as you're not doing anything too noisy that wakes the neighbours up, it shouldn't be a problem. I mean, no, don't do it in your nightie, but yeah, why not? That's the time that's best suited for you to do it, and you're not upsetting anyone else. And obviously, don't go mowing the lawn at 3 a.m. But if it suits you to do it, then do it. Then, obviously, not this time of year. You don't want to be outside at night this time of year if you can help it. Not while it's blowing a hoolie and snowing. No lawns here, okay? Exactly. What's the noisiest you're going to be? A bit of trowel work or a bit of trimming, a bit of weeding. That's not noisy. Yeah, you'll be fine. Just don't use the red light on the headlight, because then people will start taking the wrong conclusions. Or if you do, get 2 headlights with red lights on. Then people will think there's some kind of demon in the back garden, and they'll stay well away. That would work. Yeah, that would freak people out. Yeah, exactly. Put on a headlight and have fun. I've done weirder things at night. I'm trying to think. I can't remember. Yeah, I've done stuff like gardening or made YouTube videos or been up in the cave doing the modelling. Yeah, 3 o'clock in the morning, sat there sticking bits of plastic together, then having to wait until you hear the neighbours get up before you can start airbrushing. Because the compressor kicks on, it's going to wake the neighbours up. Yeah. Thankfully, my neighbours know that I have a YouTube channel. So they understand that if they hear me talking to myself, that's what I'm doing, is I'm either having a live stream or I'm making a video. So they don't think I'm completely nuts. I actually get on very well with my neighbours, so it works well. Yeah. We kind of understand that every so often one of us is going to make some random noises at some random time of day or night, or do something a bit strange. We're fine. Yeah, a dog might start barking in the middle of the night. That's what dogs do. I'm not going to be complaining about a noisy dog. If anything, I'll just yell, "Shut up, Pippa!" Roll over and go back to sleep again. Decent outdoor light. Yeah, I've found out it's the batteries go in them. There's, if you get the solar ones, the batteries that come with them are god awful. I did try replacing them with decent batteries. They lasted a bit longer, but not a huge amount. The problem is because they get discharged so fully, after a while, they just won't recharge. It's a known thing with nickel metal hydride cells, and I wouldn't suggest putting lithium cells in something outside either. The chances are they're just going to end up going bang. As waterproof as these things are, they're not entirely waterproof. And it doesn't take much water to make a lithium cell go kaboom. And that's the last thing you want, is random explosions and fires happening in the garden in the middle of the night, or middle of the day, or whenever. Also, lithium cells, if you pull them down to pretty much 0 volts, they go boom as well. They're really good. The only reason they're a thing is because they contain more energy in a smaller size package than the nickel metal hydrides or the nickel cadmiums. Yeah, contacts get rusty. Yeah, they may well be waterproof, but they're not airtight. So if you've got moisture in the air and it gets in there, and then you get temperature differences, you get condensation, which goes straight to the metal contacts because they're the coldest thing. The contacts rust and the light stops working. And you pull it apart, you clean the contacts, you put it back together again. It works for another couple of weeks, but because you've cleaned the contacts, they're now rough. So the rust or corrosion takes on real quick, and yeah, hardwired is the way to go, but obviously a lot more expensive and a lot trickier to do. Because you then got to remember exactly where all the cables are, so you don't go accidentally chopping through them with a pair of secateurs or a spade and getting a loud bang and wondering why nothing works anymore. And with that, my 2 hours is up. I don't want to overrun Crystal. So if we go hashtag night gardening, or hashtag night garden. I wanted the coverage for, covering their own backs, I'm guessing. Lipos make RC vehicles go fast. They certainly do, but it's not just the lipo. It's the brushless motors, Anthony. Trust me, I've got some silly fast ones. And the fastest actually runs on nickel cadmium cells and a brushed motor. But yeah, so if anyone's popping over to Cheryl Crystal's stream, we use hashtag night garden. This is pets and plants, so it kind of fits, and it's better than hashtag church fart, which was the last one. So thank you everyone for showing up and hanging about with a yawny Wookie. Thank you again for the super chats, Bob and Chris. Much appreciated. I guess everyone's already hit the like button. You don't need me to say like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Memberships are open, however. Yeah, I'll send 100 out of a NiCad brushed motor, Anthony. I might dig it out of the back of the wardrobe at some point. And Dee Dee turns up just as we're finishing. Oh dear, Dee Dee, what are you like? Mwah. But anyway, so thank you all for showing, even if it was just for a minute. Have a good week. Stay safe. Remember your masks. Have fun. Peace out. Rock on. Bye-bye. Sunday shop, do. Sunday shop, do. Sunday shop, do. Ah.